What's going on, people? I'm glad to run it back with you today. I'm excited for this session here. I'm joined by my guy, Corey Dickerson. So thank you for tuning in once again. We had a great time on Monday, just getting a chance to get to know Corey a little better, sharing about his background, his experiences, things that helped him along the way, to navigate some things. And it was a great time to hear and glean, from some of the things he shared. Now, today, I don't want to do too much preliminary talking because I want to dive right into it. Today, Corey, we want to, we stopped at college. We talked about college a little bit. Let's start with life after college, career, some things you got into, and then we'll lead up to today. All right?
Life after college, the first 4 or 5 years, it's funny, it was a blur, but some of the best days of my life. I still had that bug. I wanted to play basketball. Just finished up what I believe was a pretty good, college career. And my assistant coaches were like, hey, you need to take a shot overseas. I'm like, all right, well, point me in the right direction. But nobody really could do that.
Right.
Which is hard. Like, you want to keep playing. Everybody can tell you what to do, but not how to get there, especially if we're talking about getting to another country. But again, God has always found a way to put the answer in front of me, like even if he had to knock me in my head with it. So I played with a kid named Emmett Donnelly at Kings. He was a great goalie. He was also my backcourt mate. He was from Ireland. And he said to me, if nothing else happens, I'm pretty plugged in. My family's pretty plugged into the basketball scene in Ireland. You can go, if you buy a ticket, you come over, you can stay with me. We can take you to some tryouts, some pro team tryouts, and see what happens. He said, I think you'll do good. I'm like, all right, well, I'll keep that in the back pocket. Let me think about that. And one of my assistant coaches, he came to me. He's excited. He's like, I got a job opportunity for you. He was like, I talked to a buddy of mine that I used to play with. He's now overseas. He wants to sit down and talk. I said, we don't need to talk, I'll play. Like, where is it?
Right.
He said, well, it's in Managua, Nicaragua. And I was like, all right, well, let's go. And called my mom, I'm excited. I told her where, she said, where? I said, Nicaragua. She said, you are not going to Nicaragua. Do you know what's going on over there? They fight and they shoot people. I was like, first of all, we from North Philly, like that's, okay, tell me something different.
Right.
Second of all, give me a helmet, I'm going. They trying to, a helmet in the basketball, you know how we, that's the love for the game, right? I was like, I'm going. Mom's still mom. She's like, you are not going to Nicaragua. It was funny because I had already told the coach yes. I talked to the guy on the phone, one of the coaches, I told them yes. They had a little write-up about me coming over there, and never happened. So I ended up going to Ireland with Emmett. He was already home, trained during the summer. I went over there like early September, was that 2001, and tried out for a few teams. And one of the teams was one where his older brother was playing for, St. Vincent's. So one of the teams that offered me.
Right.
Obviously I felt, like they brought me over there. And I'm 21, but I'm in Ireland by myself. We can give you a place to stay, and we can give you all these things. Emmett was like, or you could just stay here with us. I was like, I'll just stay here with y'all until I get my feet wet. His mom was great. She's like, I'll cook meals. And I'm like,
say no more.
I saved my money.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I'll stay right here.
Right.
And I became part of the family. They took me in. I had a great first year playing for St. Vincent's. That was in Glasnevin, Dublin. I got to see, the whole, country of Ireland. My mom came over to see, me play and stuff like that. So I had a great experience. I had a great experience there. I did really well. It was like a scene out of a movie. We finished up a game in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and a guy named Siggy Sigurdarson comes in. He's like, hey, I'm an agent. I like what I saw. If you want to go, to Iceland or anywhere else, I can help you get there. And next thing you know, I'm in Iceland. I said, well, yeah, I'm definitely interested. you know, we stayed connected. I send them video. Let me skip back a little bit. I send them video and everything, and I'm waiting to get to Iceland. I'm waiting, and it didn't happen right away. I don't want to miss this part because it's pretty important. Us, we're competitive basketball players. We love the game. In the middle, it wasn't happening, and I'm a grown man now, and I needed a job.
Right.
I got offered to tour with the Harlem Globetrotters as a national, the team that plays against us.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? Pay sounds good. I get to see the country. We first went to Mexico. I get over there. And it was amazing experience. You know, every night you're staying in a different city.
Yeah.
One of the courts in Mexico was a refurbished bull ring, like there was dust on the court. Stray dogs ran across while we're doing the show.
Wow.
I did the Mexico tour. I did the Midwest tour, and they were going for a few months at a time. But the love for the game, it was a great show. It was great. The kids love it. Everybody who comes loves it. It's the showmanship and the organization is top notch, A1. But I love the game. I love the competitiveness. And going into it, saying, hey, you got to lose every game, and you got to follow people around in this ring. It just wasn't for me at that time of my life. So I'm in Cleveland, and a buddy of mine from college, old teammate, lived in Cleveland, and it was destined. Siggy, I get an email, and he says, hey, a guy named Daryl goes down, he tears like his meniscus or something in his knee, and they're a few games before playoffs, they need an American. Do you want to come? I folded my uniform up, my Globetrotter uniform. I left it with my roommate, in a hotel room. I was like, here's my uniform, here's my per diem money. I'm out of here. And my old teammate took me to the airport. The ticket was waiting. I called my mom. I'm like, I'm going to Iceland. Ended up in Iceland. I played for Grindavik.
Okay.
If you don't know Iceland, first of all, it's a beautiful place. But where the hot springs are, that's Grindavik. And I did pretty well for them going into the playoffs. I think we made it to the semifinals. And then the next year, that summer, Snæfell was another team over there. They offered me to come back over. Again, had a great year. I enjoyed playing. The competition was back, Now nobody can see you play. I'm calling home saying, hey, this is what I did. But I came home for Christmas break. My wife, Allison, obviously I hadn't seen her for months. We had a great time. I get back to Iceland, and maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks in, she calls me, she says she's pregnant with my oldest daughter, Marley, now.
Right.
So at that point on, I knew that was gonna be the end of basketball. And it was a choice. It wasn't forced. I just knew I wanted my family to be with me, and Allison wasn't moving to Iceland.
Right.
So we ended up going to the championship that year. We won the regular season championship, led the team in scoring. We went and we lost in the championship. The team we played against was Keflavik. They had a kid named Nick Bradford that started at Kansas.
I remember that name, Nick Bradford.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember.
They had another guy that played at Ole Miss. So I got to show that I could compete against guys at that level. I could, everybody I grew up with back home knew that in high school. In college, I'm at the D3 level, I'm tearing it up, but they're saying, can you compete against this? And I finally got to do that over there. And I think that satisfied that Jones for me as well. And I was ready at that point, I was ready. I came home, and a few months later, my daughter was born. Again, now I'm like, what are you going to do? And decided to go into law enforcement at that point. So I've been in law enforcement for the last 17 years now. But that competitiveness was always there. I don't want to go too far. I know you might have questions, but and that's kind of how I ended up owning Signal 5 CrossFit and Signal 5 Fitness, where we're sitting at right now.
Okay, perfect segue. Yes, everybody can see the sign here. This is really nice, Signal 5. We're in this building. I'm sure Brady's going to have some pictures up so you guys can see you know, the building here. Corey, man, this is a great vision you have. You know, I've been really impressed just with some of the things you've been doing. You know, the shirt you got on here, the road, you can expound on that. You got your water here, Stark. You know, I got me a water bottle, strong on Stark, right?
Strong on Stark.
But yeah, let's talk about, why don't you talk about Signal 5, you know, share about the vision, what you've been doing, you know, you have a heart to reach the kids, and just expound on some of that.
Yeah, I mean, when I finished playing, I will say it did take me a while to get on the court and play, I guess, recreational, right?
Okay.
Because I would get upset. These guys aren't playing right, or like that love, that competitiveness was still there. But it kind of transitioned into working out into fitness. And, you know, because of that, you know, I think I was at the Friendship Center. Somebody was like, hey, you should check out this CrossFit gym, 13 Stripes CrossFit, that opened up on Lingostown Road. I'm like, all right. They was like, from what I see and hear what you're doing, it looks like it's up your alley. I go in there and, I tell my buddy, my partner at work, that I'm going in there, and he said, all right, let me know how it goes. I go in, there's a guy there named Jeremy Pryor, he's the training in there. He's the owner, the coach. Okay. And he's working out. And he stops, he's like, I just got started. Come back later, there's a class, you know, beginner's class, and I'm like, I don't need no beginner's class.
Right.
Like,
right.
Tell me what you're doing,
right.
if you don't mind,
right.
and I'll get in. And an hour later, I leave. I call my buddy. He's like, what happened? I was like, I was in a fight and I lost. Like, that just kicked my butt. Like, it was bad. And me and Jeremy, years later, like, laughed at it. Like, he was like, this dude is nuts, and he don't have no idea what he's getting ready to get himself into. But again, that I lost. Yeah, I gotta come back now.
Yourself. Yeah, right.
And, you know, and it started there. You know, I ended up meeting a couple buddies in there. Phil Mentor, who was, you know, my partner here.
Yep.
And you're right now, but Dave, when we started, the guy that I told that I lost, he ended up joining. Him, Phil, and I ended up a few years later, after we had been coaching and getting different certifications and different knowledge and education, we ended up opening up Signal 5 CrossFit. You know, from there, it got crazy for one point. At one point, we owned a company called Freedom Forge Athletics, where we wanted to give others an opportunity to do what we did. So we owned a gym in Virginia, a gym in Williamsport, a gym right outside of Philly, one on the West Shore.
Wow.
And, you know, just partnering up with like-minded individuals, giving them the resources that they needed. And then once the gym became profitable, we allowed them to buy us out, right? Okay. And then we just kind of settled home with Signal 5 to give it more attention. But that was always my passion. I thought it was just the basketball, which basketball is my love, but it was the competitiveness, you know, that really always drew.
Right. Huh, man, that's interesting. So we got the Signal 5 now, the CrossFit, the working out. I know you're in tip-top shape, you know, because you got to be if you're an instructor. That's one thing I'm big on too. I know you're probably big on too, Corey. Like, if I'm going to teach something, then I better have it together myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I know that's important to you too.
Two things. The only two things I always say that I can't. In basketball, I'm not going to dunk for you. I can't show you how to finish a dunk. Right. And then here is snatches, right? It's an overhead movement when you overhead squat. Other than that, I agree with you 110%. I need to look the part and be able to demonstrate the movements.
Exactly.
And that's a big part in here. So everything's a class. Whether it be our warm-up even, we do that together. We do our strength portion together. We do our core portion together. We do everything together, and every day is something different. Okay. Like literally every day through the week is something different. So I need to be able to, you know, if a new person comes on, I need to be able to explain to them, demonstrate for them, and have them, you know, blend in to the class to the best of their ability at the time. So real interesting dynamic, but I think that's why people love, you know, Signal 5, is because you become part of a family. That competitiveness is there, but it's a positive, right? Yeah. They want you to be better than what you were before you walked in, not better than they are.
Right. That's a good point. That's a really good point. They're not competing against the next person per se. Right. They're competing against themselves.
Correct.
You know, so that's good. So spinning off that, you're a man of many endeavors. Talk to us about the road. I see that on your shirt here. Explain, you know, what that's about, what you're doing, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, the Road is a company that myself and a few other gentlemen we're launching April 5th.
Okay.
It's basically, and I know everybody kind of knows the term, the road less traveled, right? The road less traveled is less traveled because it's normally harder, right? It's longer, it's more intrusive, it's all the hard work and grunt work that people sometimes try to avoid, thinking that they can sneak in the back door to success, whatever that success is for them. The road is, hey, I'm gonna take that path because I can see it, and I'm gonna fight through all the obstacles, and I'm gonna get there. And that's why we named it the Road. But really, we have been doing it. I'll talk a little bit about my kids have that love for basketball as well. I have 4 kids. I started the Road with my oldest one, Marley, when she was, she's 16 now, when she was 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
And there's been some bumpy days on that road. There was a day early on, it was like 10 years old, 11 years old. She said, "Dad, it's your dream, not mine." Talking about basketball,
Oh, okay,
right?
okay, right.
A few weeks ago, she committed to Niagara University to play Division I basketball on a full scholarship. So it wasn't my dream,
Right.
but it was a bumpy day, right?
Right,
that
yeah,
day.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
But that road, like I said, I started with Marley, and it started with me teaching her that consistency to her dream, that discipline, to get to reach her dream, the work ethic, and not just on the basketball court or skills and drills in the weight room.
Yeah,
Teaching her how to move efficiently, but not just in there, in the classroom as well. It got to a certain point in that road where she wasn't listening to me anymore because I'm dad.
Yep.
So, you enlist other people. Greg Cavoli, who I know you talk to.
Yep.
We've been on this road together. He mentors, coaches mine. I mentor, coach his. At one point, I drove down to Harrisburg City with my daughter, and I walked into a church. He still doesn't remember this to this day. I heard that one of the best trainers in the area, and I had watched him for a while, was a guy hard to guard. His name was Sean Lewis. And everybody said, if she's not listening, you take her to him. Take her. I walked in there, right? I took her in there. He's like, "I'm in the middle of it. I get back to you." He never got back to me years later, right?
Right.
So I always let him know that now, but I was persistent, right? If I see people like yourself, if I see people that I know are doing the right thing and are like-minded like me and they're doing it for the right reasons, I'm going to find a way to collaborate with them, right? On some level,
Right.
If you're being positive to the community, to the kids, I'm all for it. You said it earlier, that's support.
Yeah.
That's what I do. They started to work out together. I noticed that, one of his partners, mentors, Brian Majors, was another guy kind of with the same vision, doing the same thing. Very big entrepreneur. Nashawn Walker, yourself, Archie. But I sat down with Nashawn, Brian, and Sean Lou and my buddy Kenny Hall, who moved up here with me, and we said, "Listen, we're already doing it. We're already sending, they go to them guys, hey, I need to be stronger. Who do I need to go to? Go see Corey at Signal 5, right? I need to be faster, go see Corey at Signal 5, right? Hey, and this is before, I was just training my daughter and her friends. All right, I started coaching at Team PA, Advanced Hoops. It was Advanced Hoops when they were younger, and Team PA, and I was just really concentrating on them girls, right? And now they're all at this point where they're going to college and they're doing great things, and people are seeing the benefits. So now people are asking, like, well, wait a minute. More people are asking, like, how'd this happen? Well, I was training them, but I only do fitness now, but I can send you to the guys who do the basketball. Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, guys, wait a minute. We have all these people who are not connecting the dots, not doing things together, not being a team, and there's strength in numbers. A team will always win. How about we do it together, right? How about we show these kids how a system, the actual system that we put Marley on, or Tasia Colbert, Nashawn's daughter, or Sean Lewis, Sean's daughter, or G. How about we, Gerald, who's doing great. Sorry, G is his son, little G. All these kids who are now either going to college, or in college already lighting it up. Let's show them the system that we had created, that we had designed. Let's actually write it out. Let's map it out. It's called the roadmap, right?
I like that.
It's called the roadmap. Let's show them how, because they probably never added it up.
Right.
But those 6 hours a week of fitness basketball, those extra hours of tutoring, and I'll talk to you about that. Luna is a program that we have. It's not just about basketball, because you could be one of the best skilled players in the country. If your grades are bad, guess what? It's gonna be hard to get you into college.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? Grades are first.
Yep.
Right? And that mentorship of, hey, I have my friend just got arrested. My friend just overdosed. My parents, or one of my parents has cancer, or this teacher isn't responding to me right. My friend of mine just committed suicide, right? That mentorship to be able to deal with all of that stuff as well, right? For me, basically giving them everything that I had in Logan, right? And you said the way you grew up, giving them everything that you had, and showing, giving them everything you had that got you through is what we've been doing for our kids and the kids that surround them. Now let's offer it up to every kid. We have the roadmap. Alone here, and with First Day Preps as well. Maybe in the last 2 years, 10 to 15 kids that we've sent to college, with scholarships, right? That's big here in Central Pennsylvania. Everybody doesn't know that. I don't need to go to Philly to do it. I don't need to leave and go to New York to do it. We have a system right here in place that if you buy into, you're going to become physically and mentally stronger than you were when you started with us. Your skill set is going to improve. How you handle the classroom and adversity is going to improve. And that whatever that level of success is, it could be a Division I scholarship, it could be a Division II, it could be a Division III, it could be I just want to be a part of a team and win in high school. Whatever it is, we will help you achieve that. And that's what we're doing. So we launched April 15th. I know I was all over the place because I get so excited about it.
Right.
But we have some kids that are already leading the way and doing some amazing things. And we have middle schoolers coming up. We call it up and coming. They're coming. We have, 5th through 7th. We call them speed bumps because you got to slow them down. Right. Make sure that the foundation is right. The footwork is right.
Oh yeah.
And every day we're growing, not just in the kids, but in who we align ourselves with, right?
Yeah.
To get this done. So April 5th, the road is coming.
Yeah, man, that's a powerful, not analogy, but explanation. It's the depiction of that, the road, just thinking about the road less traveled. And, a lot of people don't take that road. A lot of people take the easy. But what you're saying is, there's a road, and we're going to help you, we're going to assist you down that path.
Absolutely.
Through the resources, through the coaches, the mentors, the synergy of the leadership. We're going to help you down that road. And at the end of the day, Corey, here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's the road that they desire.
Absolutely.
It's not, you're not choosing their path. You're just assisting them on the road that they want to travel. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's powerful. And I'm excited about it too. One of the things I admired, and I'm glad to have Corey on the set here. Corey has helped my son out a little bit too. He knows my son very well. As he mentioned, he's G3. My son is
G3.
But one of the things I really appreciate about Corey is he's very passionate about helping people. That's one thing I admire and I pick up on is the energy and the passion you have, and when it comes to genuinely wanting to help people. I want to commend you
Appreciate
for that. And stay in that vein. I know you will. You got a great family. Your wife, your kids, all your kids. I had a chance to work with your daughter, Maya. Did she tell you? You saw
Yes.
her.
Oh yeah.
One day,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, she came home. She's like, "Did you know that Coach Jarman? He played at Richmond, and you know, he beat, I forgot what she said. I'm like, no, it was Syracuse. Like, you know, but I had to educate her. But the point is, she was excited to come home and say that she was at A2D, and she got coached by Coach Jarman, and this is what he did. Like, that's mentorship without even saying a word.
Exactly.
Right? She was so excited, and for me, that's what I love, seeing that part first.
Yeah.
If they're excited about doing it, man, the sky's the limit.
Oh, yeah.
You
oh,
know?
yeah.
So I appreciate you for that.
Oh, yeah, no problem, anytime, man. I really, you know, she has a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential in her, and so I'm excited to continue to collaborate and stuff. So any final thoughts, Corey? I know we have the award here. I don't know if you talk about so much. Stark, I'm going to grab me a few bottles before I go. This is a commercial for Corey, as you can see. He can pay me later. But again, man, you know, thank you for coming on. I don't know if you have any final thoughts, but thank you for coming on. And this won't be the end.
No,
You know, we're steadily climbing together, you know, and we'll collaborate on some stuff. So any final thoughts? You don't have to, but, you know.
This is just the beginning, like you said. So I'm sure we'll be back. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And, you know, if you're in the central Pennsylvania area, you're looking for a fitness home, or, you know, your child is looking for a roadmap to you know, get to success in, you know, and whatever. Basketball is our you know, our thing, but obviously you see over there we have baseball here in Signal 5 as well. Signal 5 Fitness, and my name is Corey, and I appreciate it.
All right. So thank you for tuning in again. You guys have a great weekend. Always remember, you're destined for greatness. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Perfect.